So your boy P. Diddy has almost landed in jail more times than you'd think. When it comes to rap music, the name P. Diddy is almost synonymous with controversy. There's no denying that the musician has had a long and colorful career, but P. Diddy has been in hot water for various incidents throughout his life. From his clashes with the law, to his questionable business decisions, to allegedly hiring Tupac's killer, let's take a deeper look into the many controversies of P. Diddy. Back in '91, Puff Daddy was a promoter for a charity basketball game played by prominent hip-hop artists at City College. The event quickly became overcrowded. 3,000 people were jammed into a venue designed to hold half that number. This caused a tragic stampede that resulted in 9 deaths, 29 injuries, and countless accusations. P. Diddy was subject to several lawsuits after the incident that took years to resolve. This controversy reaffirmed the idea that rap and hip-hop were a dangerous, uncontrollable force in New York City, leaving many to question P. Diddy's intentions with hosting such an event. But that's not all. Diddy was also involved in a ton of other controversies. This one's less a controversy and more a sad fact, but P. Diddy has been accused of treating those working with him in a less than ideal manner. Multiple employees have come forward to say they were treated poorly, including being yelled at and threatened by the rap mogul. From artist successes to public controversies, Bad Boy Records has seen it all under the leadership of P. Diddy. While plenty of artists have found success through the label, others regret having ever signed on with Diddy's imprint and face some serious repercussions for doing so. Take rapper Black Rob, for example. When he found himself facing prison time, Rob claims Diddy and Bad Boy left him for dead in a bush at one point. Then there's the rap trio The Lox. After skyrocketing to fame on Bad Boy, they wanted out of their contract, but Diddy said no, keeping them locked in against their will no matter how much they tried to break free. This led to the group launching a press campaign called Free the Lox, printing t-shirts for fans and publicly pleading with their label boss on the radio. As if this wasn't enough, rapper Mace even went as far as confronting Diddy on air with a set of release papers. And surprisingly, the mogul signed them. But perhaps the most chilling example of all comes from former Bad Boy signees 112. According to reports, Diddy once left them stranded in a blizzard, while they were on tour. He didn't care if they made it back alive, he had already gotten paid for the tour. What happened to them after was the least of his concerns. The stories behind Bad Boy Records are certainly shocking, and it's clear that there have been many instances where the label has taken terrible care of its artists. The craziest part is that they all start and end with P. Diddy. Is he just a horrible boss or a horrible person altogether? Well, it seems like the latter might be the problem. At the 1995 Source Awards, Suge Knight publicly accused Diddy of appearing in too many music videos of his artists. He basically said that Diddy likes to insert himself in places where he has no business being in, just for the clout. If you look at the evidence, he's not really wrong. Okay, now, while most producers like to stay off camera and let the stars shine, Diddy finds one way or another to get himself in the music videos of the songs he thinks will do best. This sparked a feud between the two that has lasted for decades, with Knight criticizing Diddy's involvement in his artists' videos and music. Fast forward to 2 decades later, and Suge Knight is still in jail, it doesn't seem like the two will be reconciling anytime soon. It's a shame, really. In a way, this feud represents the larger picture of animosity between old-school hip-hop scenes and the newer generations. Whatever happened to peace, love, unity, and having fun? Well, I guess those things can't thrive on Diddy's watch. P. Diddy's feuds aren't just limited to rappers, though. He's had his fair share of disagreements with TV host and businesswoman Wendy Williams. It all started back in '98 when Wendy, who was working as a radio host at the time, made some comments that suggested Diddy might be gay. Needless to say, he wasn't too pleased about it. Diddy got so worked up about what she said that he went out of his way and got Wendy fired from the station. While it seems as if there was no hope of reconciliation, much to everyone's surprise, the two managed to bury the hatchet in 2017 on The Wendy Williams Show. On the show, Wendy took responsibility for her actions, saying, "I know I pissed a lot of people off, including you," before she apologized. Diddy accepted her apology, And while some still think it was the two of them being mature about things, most people think this was nothing but them trying to get some publicity and nothing else. At the 2013 VMAs, Diddy evidently had some unfinished business with a certain Kendrick Lamar when he reportedly threw a drink at him. However, J. Cole stepped in before things got out of hand, and Diddy allegedly ended up throwing punches at Cole instead. 1 year later, it seemed like history was repeating itself as Diddy found himself getting physical with yet another rapper. This time, it was Drake, with the drama going down at Live nightclub in Miami Beach due to a dispute about who would record 0 to 100. Well, I guess that one escalated real quick. Diddy denied that he had punched Drake and instead stated that he simply wanted no problems with him. But whether or not punches were thrown in either of those incidents, one thing is for sure. Diddy has certainly made his presence felt in the rap world with these highly publicized altercations. It's clear that Diddy is not one to take any challenges lightly, and as such, it appears he will go to great lengths when it comes to protecting what he perceives as his own. So maybe it's no surprise that he's had his fair share of controversies over the years, and if you cross him, it's likely that there will be consequences. As controversies swirl around the unsolved murders of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, former LAPD officer Greg Kading has a theory. He believes P. Diddy had something to do with it. According to Kading's investigation, P. Diddy allegedly paid members of the Crips gang $1 million to kill Tupac in '96. This caused Suge Knight, head of Shakur's record label, Death Row Records, to retaliate by ordering a hit on Biggie the following year. This would mean that the deaths of Tupac and Biggie, as well as the subsequent discord between respective labels, Death Row Records and Bad Boy Records, can be traced back to Diddy's door. Though Kading's theories have been met with criticism and skepticism, they serve as the basis for USA's crime drama Unsolved, The Murders of Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G., which explores the potential connections between P. Diddy and the murders of two influential hip-hop icons. While it was never actually proven, this is one of the most infamous controversies surrounding P. Diddy's name, one that might just haunt him for the rest of his life. The consequences we've talked about don't just apply to other rappers, it applies to non-rappers too. In 2017, P. Diddy was at the center of a scandal after his former personal chef, Cindy Rueda, filed a sexual harassment lawsuit against him. Rueda claimed that Combs had made her feel uncomfortable by frequently forcing her to make meals while he was engaged in sexual activities with other people. Shockingly, she also alleged that Combs frequented the kitchen area naked and asked her if she liked how he looks. Sometimes it was while he was engaged in sexual activity with other people, other times without them. After she complained to the relevant authorities at Combs Enterprises, Rueda says she was fired after being framed for theft. A judge ruled that instead of seeking justice in a public court case, she would have to pursue private arbitration with her employer. Unsurprisingly, Diddy claimed that Rueda's suit was merely a shakedown for money. However, this has not been proven, and from the looks of it, this one might just be one of the several cases that Diddy seems to have gotten away with. In 1999, Diddy assaulted record executive Steve Stoute by throwing a chair and a bottle of champagne at him over a scene from a music video. After initially being charged with second-degree assault, Diddy eventually pled down to a reduced charge and was only required to do 1 day of anger management. Does Diddy keep going from one controversy to the next just because he's able to get away with it? It seems that he spent the past 3 decades living that way, and from the looks of it, the man's not looking to slow down anytime soon. Who knows, maybe in the next decade, we'll see Diddy do even crazier things. Hopefully not. What do you think will happen? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.